Tired of standing over your chips and doing this? Let's fix those chunks. So the reason we chunk the ball is because the turf has too much interaction with the leading edge here. So what we want to do is we want to take that leading edge out of the equation. To do that, we need to open the club up a little bit. This is going to expose the bounce of the club instead of the leading edge to the turf. Basically, what we want to do is we want this club to glide over the grass using the bounce. The bounce is just the difference between the leading edge and the ground. Every wedge has one, and all it is just a little bit of room so that club does not really dig into the ground when we chip. When we open up the club, we let that bounce do all the work. So that bounce is going to glide across the grass instead of that leading edge digging in. And that is going to help us to make better contact and give us more margin of error with the golf ball. The second thing we need to realize is that any swing we make is on an arc. And that arc has the lowest point, which is usually the point where the club touches the ground. So how do we influence low point? Low point is influenced by our center of gravity. So if I stand with my weight 50-50 between both my feet and I swing without transferring any weight at all, that club is going to hit the ground at its lowest point right in between both my feet. If most of my weight is near my back foot, then that low point moves toward the back foot. And if I move toward the front foot, then that low point will be near the front foot. So when we're chunking the ball, our low point is too far back. So to fix this, when we set up, we're going to move a little bit of our weight toward our front foot. This will help us to really change that low point a little further forward and help combat those chunk shots. If we open up the club face and use the bounce and move that low point to where we need it to be, this is what the end result looks like. You'll see with that shot, we had much better contact with the ball and we had a much wider margin of error for where the low point was since we used that bounce of the club. If you want a full description of how spin, low point, bounce, and everything works in chipping, check out the full video in my YouTube channel. Remember to use these tips to play for par.